So yeah, welcome guys. Let's start like usually with the USD Canadian dollar as always. So what we are seeing right now, it was a divergence movement. I think I'm gonna just clear things up like that and focusing and for here and now like this and this. It was nice divergence, and the target, the first of all, is the 61. Actually, the volume is still rising, almost the same thing what we could see on the DXY the last week. And here I would expect something like an XABCD pattern, which would look like something like that, actually. Okay. It's a beautiful harmonic pattern right there. That's something what I would like to see from the market. But first of all, the 61 is the target, and that's for next week. The Canadian weakness kicked in as expected, actually. So as you see, the weekly base here is actually the target point. So I will put and target on that one as well, which just looks like this on the daily chart. Okay, that's what I'm expecting from the USD CAD. Then the next thing was the Audi NCD. Got here also, could say divergence. There is not an actual divergence. If you see, the closing point is a bit lower than where the usually next move stops. So this is not a clear divergence, but there is clearly a big change between the two structures on the same level. Okay, but this moves sideways, up and down, up and down. It was also beautiful XRBCD, actually. Yes, that was also a beautiful one, but what I'm looking for is actually breaking those zones, the low and the high, first of all, because until then we don't have a clear direction. Okay, we just see bouncing, and that's what I want to see from the Audi NCD, but mostly my focus goes into the DXY as usually, since I'm trading mostly on gold and Euro, USD, and US 30. Okay, then the Euro CHF made his move, didn't reach the target zone from the last point. This was the target zone, we didn't reach that, but there was also a divergence forming. And now comes the interesting part. We should break this level first of all to move forward, but we are under the zero line. So what I would like to see is some retest and then a continuation down, because this is a divergence, but this could be also a divergence. So let's see how the Monday and Tuesday starts actually, and then we can see a move down. Okay. Here is also forming something, but as you see, everything is in red right now, but we are getting also a divergence right there, a potential divergence between the volume inside the REMA. So that's also a thing. What I'm looking for, no other divergences right there. Okay. So what I expect from the Euro CHF is a small retracement and then a continuation. But this could even retest on a higher point, which would mean there is no divergence anymore, just a convergence, and taking back the zero line. to make some space for the next move down. Then the Euro GBP. The Euro GBP played out correctly. The last Zooms, I said there is a chance to get back even to the previous high, but there is nothing changed in the market, but the volume went up. So what I'm expecting is a higher point of the volume and then a turning point, because this will be a divergence. It's like a sure thing, in my opinion, because I don't think this level is about to reach. So even if the price comes back to this point, there will be such a high volume, which will mean something like this, and that's a clear divergence. All right, on daily basis, there is still some potential for the upside. We broke the zero line, we tested back on the zero line. So yeah, maybe Monday and Tuesday, one more up, and then I would like to see a down movement also from the Euro GBP. There is no divergence, only convergence, which is also an interesting part. I would like to see where the volume stops on the destroyer around those highs, because if it's on a lower point, then this could mean also divergence in the market, right? And then we can have a clear picture about the direction. And then the most lovely point is the DXY. The DXY played out very well. Went back to the 61, created divergence and made a movement down, but the volume is still on a high point, but there is also a structural divergence from the REMA, also a structural divergence from the VVV. So this could mean we can go on a lower spot, but what actually I'm expecting is a bounce back and a turning point. So kind of like also like this. Okay. Because of the weekly perspective, what we have, and the weekly perspective is a clear divergence which is forming, and if the VV plus is also turning green, which is a very close call, and there is also a low volume point in the market, and we are very near to the zero line. This could be also a very good opportunity. It depends mostly on next week. What is I think a very interesting thing, because if next week turns out green, then the divergence starts moving. We're gonna get a green VV plus and a green REMA, which could mean we are heading back first of all to 38, but my target zone is here on yeah, far away. Actually, that was the previous point, and a nice zone, but actually I'm gonna change that. First this, after that this could be a nice target point. Okay, so next week gonna be very interesting, but I saw the news on yesterday, on yesterday's call, and there is not big news next week, right? There's not much to see from the news side, but it couldn't mean that there will be no volume in the market, because last week we got so many news, but they were all like how can I say, shit. First move up and down or otherwise. So yeah, not a clear movement even for interest rate decisions. So and NFP is also not a clear picture. I managed to trade on it on 5 seconds, but yeah, it's definitely not something we used to see from the NFP. Okay, then the CXY, the Canadian dollar, made also a bounce from the 61, which is a very good point of the market. The first target is at 38. That's right there on the weekly basis, but it's definitely going to the bear side. There is no divergence at the moment, nothing that should change direction for now. So I will heading with the momentum, and this one turned red. We got a sell signal, and the REMA looks like there is something about to happen. So this should be also turning red, and we can see one more down move. This is also interesting because we could see if there is a down move, here is a previous low, and if this previous low does not break, there will be also divergence because it's almost on the same level, but this will come on a lower place in the destroyer. So an interesting picture. Then we got the AXY. The AXY made also divergence. There is structural divergence inside the market. So what I'm expecting maybe here we got a reverse move. So one or two candles like not doing much, not seeing much on the market, and then turning around like we saw the DXY. So first an up and then a down move, what I'm expecting. But for now on, I wouldn't trade against that momentum. We got the buy signal, and there is also a lower volume inside the VV plus, but this is not enough yet. This is not enough yet. Even if you see on the smaller time frames, like 6 hours, there is also a possibility for a divergence. And if you go on a lower spot, there will be one more up move, that's for sure. But that up move will cause also a divergence. I received a strange message. Just a moment, guys. Oh, oh. Yep. Yeah, that was okay. So what I want to see is one more up move, and then this will make divergence on 1 hour, which is also good. Should be a good point from this perspective. I would say let's see what the price does around the 50 level, and from the 50 turning point, that will be the best scenario. Okay. Then the AXY stopped out, like I thought it will go on a lower spot, but it stopped. Actually, there is a buy signal, there are crossed, so there is something like channel forming right there. I will see a small bounce back up, then eventually a continuation down, but here I also drawed a divergence possibility because the high is very far away from this point. So even if it continues to go up a bit, there should be a turning point very soon in 1 or 2 weeks, in my opinion. Okay, this is also about cross retracement on the zero line. It will work out nicely, in my opinion. The the BXY made also divergence on weekly base, and there is a huge opportunity because, as you see, since October 10, we didn't have a REMA cross. It was just one momentum to the upside. Okay, but it's about to come. It's about to come. But after that, if you're reaching that point, I would expect, and this was a target zone, by the way, which was almost reached. Okay, but yeah, I'm gonna delete this. So what I would like to see is something like retest as well to those points and then a turning point down because of the weekly picture is almost time for the BXY. And it's interesting because as you know, when the DXY gets stronger and stronger, the rest of the currencies are weaker and weaker, and there are signs for that. Okay. Then SXY made also divergence, but there is no structural divergence from the VVV plus, and also the same thing on the REMA, what we can see. Okay. On the daily basis, there is also a divergence formed, and here is our high. So let's see eventually one more up move, but from the other side there is a high volume compared to this one, and let's see compared to this one also a higher volume level. Even this one is the same level, but this was a strong movement, so I would expect something the same right there. This is also clearly in the channel moving right now, so possibly bounce from that. And when we're gonna break this trend line, we're gonna see a very nice momentum shift as well. Then the XY is consolidating, not much to see, but it looks like we are bouncing from the zero line. So right now we are trading to the downside on the XY, and this will not change in a while, in my opinion. From the other perspective, almost same as the audience D. Like this is also moving up and down, like not much to see on it. Okay, and this is a nice scenario to target the high and the lows, and go to the highs and the lows. And the XY almost the same scenario, but there is big bearish volume right there. That's what I want to see. On the VV also we are turning red on each indicator. I just would like to follow those things, but like I said, my main focus goes mostly on gold. And this is an interesting thing on gold because I thought I was deleting everything. But maybe, oh, maybe because the reboot. I don't know. So, yeah, what we're seeing right now is an interesting thing because the volume got into a lower point, and this candle shows us the strength. Okay. So, if next week gonna get also a stronger candle like this, then this will may continue to go down. And if it continues to go down, it's about to break the zero line. And if it breaks the zero line, then we can see a smooth move to the downside. Okay, let's see. here was something similar. Not exactly the same pattern, but something similar, like the volume went down around the zero line. There was a small volume level, and we got a stronger volume level, some consolidation, and after that, a huge move. Okay, hundreds of pips. We could see the same thing on USD actually. Okay, there is no clear sign of divergence right now. Just momentum on weekly basis. On daily, we are heading down, also almost the same scenario of the zero line. Okay, but here's a higher volume level. So that's what I say. The Monday and Tuesday will be interesting. Because if it's starting to go up a bit, I think Wednesday and Thursday will be a down move as well. So yeah, I'm looking exactly for that. And also the interesting thing that the Fibonacci is moving down. There is something about to change in the market structure. Okay. So maybe what we could witness is first a move up and then a move down. And that will be perfect for the weekly. Yes, actually. What I'm mostly expecting from the market is those up and down moves, which we saw also during the news, expecting the same thing, but there is something coming in. It's bigger, which could be very interesting. Okay. Also, a few words about the BTC. The BTC made also a divergence, and there is a structural divergence as well. So it's coming to a move. Also, we got the red momentum, which is a good one, and also a structural divergence. So I love to see that when all of the three indicators showing me divergences. Okay, that's mostly a strong movement, and that's what I want to see right there. So I would like to see to continue that moment. There is nothing happening on daily, or at least nothing interesting. There is from weeks, like in Saturday, there is absolutely nothing on the market. And this is also interesting because you can see the news and read about BlackRock and stuff like that. They are investing and blah, blah, blah. But the market doing the opposite thing. Okay. And that's the market effect when they say this is the right time to buy, then be aware of the charts because it's not seems like that, at least not on a weekly and daily basis. Okay. So I'm waiting for this move, and what's also an interesting part is the XRP, which gives us a different picture about the zero line. I would like to see a retest on the 38, which would make perfect sense. As you see, the daily high is here, and if I draw a line on the high, which was broken, we coming into the weekly charts and it plays out on the 38. So that's what I'm looking for on the moment. That's what I want to see, and after that I'm looking for an up move. But let's see what the price does further fall around this level. Okay. All right, a quick look on the news. There is nothing big on Monday. Expect an unemployment rate on the CHF, which could be interesting, but for further Tuesday, maybe a small CPY. Balance of trade was high impact news before, not counting it this time. but I'm gonna be on the markets. Like, yeah, want to see what's happening. Oh, my clock. Okay, we're gonna change that. Anyways, wait. Okay, that was strange. So, Wednesday, not big thing. Bit of the Chinese yuan, but that's it. But it doesn't mean there could be no liquidity in the market. So yeah, those gonna be strange movements, which will mean just follow the momentum mostly. Okay, and Thursday we're gonna get CPI. CPI gonna have an effect on the market and also jobless claims together, which is a good thing on Thursday. And on Friday we'll continue with the PPI. The PPI is also an high impact news. Some little news from the GBP and closing the day with Michigan, but not a big deal. Let's see what we got for this week. My most of the time is gonna be to recreate the EA and the indicators of the part of the indicators actually. Yeah, that's what I'm working on, and yeah, let's see what we get. I wish you a very successful week, guys, and I see you next week. No
Thank you, Martin.
problem.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye. Have a nice evening.